Episode 11 of Tales from the Darkside. This one's called Love Hungry, and it's about vegetables that come to life and start singing and dancing, just like I showed in the intro. So while this is a goofy episode, it's one of the few that has some funny moments in it, and it does have a dark ending, so I still think it fits with this series, still having some mystery and horror elements, and its original story. Don't these guys look like VeggieTales? Maybe it was the inspiration. So Betsy Cowland, great name, is a very large, overweight woman. Now, you might be looking at her and going, she doesn't look that large. But you have to remember, this is the 80s. This is 1988. So this is big for 1988. Nowadays, she would be like average. But we can see here, the average weight for men in 1988 was 181 pounds. And for women, it was 152. Now, in 2025, for women, it's 170. And for men, it's right at 200. So, yeah, she's supposed to be a big slob. But she's trying her best to lose weight. And she's tried everything. It starts with this refrigerator that every time she opens it, it tells her that she should stop eating and makes fun of her. That, of course, didn't work. This is before, of course, the Ozempic craze, which sounds tempting, but I just have a feeling like in 20 years, people are going to start growing limbs from that Ozempic. And she's a bit of a lonely woman. She starts talking to her trees in her little garden that she has around her house. And the set here actually looks quite good. Doesn't feel too claustrophobic, doesn't feel too cramped. And rather than just having her in a plain apartment, they decorate it and show that not only does she stay in this apartment a lot, but she has a lot of interest with things like gardening and is building her own greenhouse in her apartment. And she gets an offer for a new type of weight loss treatment that's a little undercover right now. And it comes in the form of a hearing aid that they first give her, and then also, a guy delivers this to her house, glasses. And when she puts on these glasses, she notices that her food comes alive and starts talking to her, and doing what food would do if it could talk, which is saying, please don't eat me. Now, their choice of food is interesting here. You would think they would choose like junk food, but no, they choose a banana, a pear, a plum. They're choosing actually good food, like fruit. A flaw with this episode, if I may critique a talking fruit episode, I think it would have been better to have the chips, the chocolate cake, which we do see when she opens her refrigerator. All the food talks to her. It's just these 3 fruit talk to her the most. And have you stay away from the bad food. That could be possibly helpful. In fact, maybe it should be that the chocolate cake says, "Don't eat me, please." And then the cucumbers, "Go ahead, put me in your mouth. You want to." You go, "Oh, okay, cucumber." Feels kind of weird, but alright. Maybe this should happen to me when I go by McDonald's, because I always regret eating it. But there's so many, especially where I live. They're all over the place. There's a ton of 24-hour ones. And they have such a bargain deal. $5 per McDouble meal. You get a McDouble. You get small fries. You get chicken McNuggets. You get sauce. I get buffalo. And then you get a soda. All for $5. In this economy? Oh, man. So the episode starts out normal enough, develops the character, and it moves at a brisk pace. They don't spend too much time on her just eating things. She gets these glasses quickly, and then we also see the introduction of another character, her long-lost high school sweetheart, named Elmo Shrod, who, of course, because his Tales from the Darkside, looks like he's like 65 years old. And Elmo's played by Larry Gelman, who was Mr. Weber in Dreamscape, played Albert Einstein in some of the Command & Conquer video games. Oh, I remember those. But I still think StarCraft 2 is the best RTS. Fight me. And Betsy is played by Sharon Madden, who was Kathy in Turner and Hooch, the movie I've never been able to finish because I get tired of seeing Tom Hanks chase a dog in his underwear. But maybe one day I'll finish it. So I think both of these characters are quite good. They both act a bit goofy, they're both nerdy, and there seems like there is a bit of a connection here. He looks 20 years older than her. He's actually not. The actor's only 7, but the bald spot. And he wants to take her out on a date. Now, I thought I knew where this episode was going. He's asking her on a date, he comes over, he meets her, they talk, he then wants to go on another date with her. So I figured what would happen is this weight loss cure of having the food yell at you every time you eat them would cause a reduction in her weight very, very quickly. And then we would see a thinner version of her, and then she would go out with him. But boy, was I wrong. The episode seems to be leading you down that path, then runs out of time. And we get a pretty scary ending. These vegetables and food are yelling at her, so she doesn't go on this date with Elmo. And finally, her landlord and Elmo come to her apartment 2 months later and find that she has sewed up her mouth so that she can't eat and has died of starvation. Sad ending, quite dark, and not exactly what I was expecting, but I still think Love Hungry is a good episode. It's one of the comic episodes that is done right, and the puppetry of these vegetables looks pretty good. They also mentioned that she's not able to remove these glasses, so you think she might be able to just take off the glasses, eat the fruit, then put the glasses on when she's go to McDonald's like me. But no, once they're on there for life. So it seems like this company is not trying to help people, it's just trying to cause people to die of starvation. Though the fruit can yell at me, the pizza can get mad. I'm eating it, come on, what are we talking about? So Love Hungry gets a 7 out of 10. More comic episodes should be like this, however, we're almost out of episodes since we're almost at the end of the series, so I don't think it's going to happen, but it's at least a curiosity. Bob Ganaway was the writer for this episode, and he worked on a lot of kid shows, like Mickey Mouse Works, Lilo and Stitch, Leroy and Stitch. He was a producer and a writer for a lot of Disney projects, and this does feel like a darker version of a Disney tale. Let's look at a good review and a bad review. This person gave it an 8 out of 10. Unusually unneeded ending. I feel like they needed to make the ending a bit dark just so it would feel like a Tales from the Darkside episode. But yeah, I would like to see her lose weight and somehow, I don't know, defeat these vegetables. Maybe we should start fighting them or something. Thought we'd get like a Attack of the Killer Tomato situation where they start biting her, but no. This is a funny episode more than anything else, and the puppeteering on the food is nice and looks funny. Yeah, it does look pretty good. Even the banana, like it's obviously a puppet, but I mean they position it in a way that is a little hard to tell. We're definitely not going animatronics for this though. Not Tales from the Darkside. My problem with this episode is what most like best. The ending of it is so violent. It just seemed weird. Our main character wasn't introduced as a bad character, just fat, but I guess it was needed to spice up the episode. Or they just ran out of time. They're like, we don't have time to like go on a date with this guy, or... But like I said, I want to see her fight the vegetables. Come on. Pull some kung fu moves. 6 out of 10, a warning for those considering a diet. Don't you even think about considering a diet. An offbeat and potentially entertaining story from Tales from the Darkside, and one of the best episodes of Season 4 that I've watched so far. It's basically a story that warns against trying untested and unsafe medical treatments. She does mention that she can't afford liposuction, and that she's tried other water diets and fruit diets and they never worked. The main character is an overweight woman who attempts to lose weight by investing in a magical hearing aid and a pair of glasses that have unusual effects. I think they're free too. Nice. Basically, it's a story in which food comes to life via some basic but cool looking special effects. It's completely silly, of course, but fun with it. And the mean-spirited ending is the perfect way to close the story. This guy sounded more positive than the other review. Next up is episode 12, The Script. Oh no. Is someone going to sell their soul to the devil? Oh, this seems like a sell to your soul to the devil episode. To make it big in Hollywood. And check out our playlist for all the other series that we've covered. We're almost done Tales from the Darkside. We cover every episode. Black Mirror, Fear Itself, Monsters, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Thanks a lot.